First off, apologies for the atrocious gameplay. I was unsure if I could even show any of the anime itself within guidelines, so yeah, other than that, I decided to start Kickoff 2026 by watching very special 20-year-old classic anime goes by the name of Boku no Pico, which isn't really a common recommendation nowadays. You only probably get it nowadays, probably not even from A. I only was reminded from it after binging some old videos from Anime America and reading a disgusting amount of Encyclopedia Dramatica, which if you're unfamiliar, any amount of time on Encyclopedia Dramatica is a disgusting amount of time on Encyclopedia Dramatica. So just for reference, I'm in my young 20s, so this show's a bit before my time, but the impression I've gotten beforehand is that this was the go-to anime that you'd recommend someone, just like if you hated them, like if you just didn't want them to watch any anime again and to discuss them, you just show them some old Boku no Pico. So that's the main reason why I decided to watch it. I only saw the first episode for reasons that will become clear. I wanted to know really why was this the go-to hentai to show people, or to as a gag recommendation, because assuredly there are more disgusting and more bizarre like it's a normal like 24 minutes, so probably for sure there are shows that are just as long as this, as disgusting or just fetishistic and and unpleasant to watch, besides Boku no Pico. So I want to get a clue on why was this the one that was chosen to be the reference gag anime. And after watching it, I'm still not sure, because even just starting to look at it, the art style was very uninspired. I was not very impressed by it. The opening itself, it's just a general overview of the show itself, even besides the sex, but the opening was very whatever. The song wasn't particularly nice. It's set in like a beach area, coastal region, but the water effects are really atrocious, which is really bad if you're like set right next to if your show is set next to a body of water. But so anyway, it's going to the plot itself. The show itself starts with just cuts open to the sex immediately, with thankfully pixelated genitalia. It starts with some ice in the chest area, and while the kid is being jerked off, and it was here that the worst line I think probably in the show is said, quote unquote, "O chin chin inside of me," which I think that means penis. It does mean penis, but yeah, it starts off very strong. The animation and cinematography itself is also pretty simplistic, but after that it cuts to a bit before that, where a guy pays this guy's paint. He's on the beach, he has those pay for binoculars, and he spots Pico, which is the shota of this anime, and his eyes draw upon him, and apparently he just can't get enough of that, apparently, as he realizes, wait, this is a dude. And so later on, the man, his name is Mokun, goes to this cafe in the evening and sees Pico working as a maid, because then Mokun learns that Pico is the grandson of this owner of this cafe, and the owner asks him to befriend Pico, this random stranger who just befriending his grandson for reasons, I guess. And there's a small visual gag here where when Pico is pouring his Mokun's drink, he spills too much cream inside the drink itself, which is very obvious. Even I'm a bit of a dullard when it comes to that sort of thing, but I spotted the symbolism immediately. And so after that, it cuts off, little bit of a montage of Mokun hanging out with Pico, getting a bit more physical, eyeballing him more and more. And there's some sort of bond that Pico begins to feel with Mokun after this stage of grooming, when then he starts being physically clingy with him, hugging him, wrapping himself around his arms. And then it cuts to a scene where they're eating ice cream, and Pico just gets a bunch of ice cream all over his shirt and pants. And then Pico decides to start licking this stain off of the shirt. And this is where the first kisses landed, and Pico embraces it very quickly, as Mokun's advances onto him. And then they just begin to start making out, and then the ice cream just start dripping on all of their bodies, being completely melted. They both tent, and Mokun offers Pico to teach him a stranger feeling. And it cuts again to Mokun picking him up from the cafe again. The rain effects, as usual, are also pretty trash in this scene. And then this is the point where it cuts the scene from the beginning, when Mokun shows some girly clothes and dresses he got for Pico, and Pico dresses up to it, shows himself off, and lays on Mokun's bed. And this is probably the most graphic part of the entire anime. Pico just starts filleting Mokun, gets the after effect, I'll say, on his face. He gets a finger enters his rear side, and then after that he just gets the full this is really tough to say. He just gets sodomized. He just gets it straight in the butt. And after this, after they both orgasm, they both lay in bed before Pico runs off in shame, crying. Mokun starts running off to him. He finds him in some monument, some weird ancient site. I don't know why they went with that. This scene also, it's really off-putting because the dialogue and the music is really mismatched, because it's hard to describe. It just doesn't fit at all. And Pico starts being colder to Mokun for the scene when he's finally found, but then starts being playing with him again. Calls him a baka, which is Pico. At this point, it's late in the evening. Pico finally strips on the beach. They make out again and suck each other off literally again. Pico offers another round of his behind, and then it cuts to the end scene where Pico's just laying on the bed, and Pico is just wearing a choker with the ladyish clothes, and it ends with the quote, with the line, "I love you," which... So that's the summary of the entire plot. It definitely did earn its reputation for me. So whichever troll that, if you like goading people to watch animated pederasty, you got me good. Aha, you really got me that one. I guess besides the stuff itself, the Shotokan itself, the most off-putting thing about it was just how rushed the entire, relationship was. It seems to go, even for this sounds very morbid to say, but it's cutting straight from them just like meeting with each other, and Pico's grandfather introducing them to them having an abuser victim relationship. So because I think the author did say that he, you know, I don't know at this point, honestly. So his final thoughts, yuck, ew, 5 out of 10. And that's it. That's my review. Thank you for listening.